Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the secrets buried in company filings. Today we're looking at Rafael Holdings Incorporated, and let me tell you, this report is about as exciting as watching paint dry. But stick with me, because even in the mundane there can be clues. We dive into Rafael Holdings Inc. Its recent shareholder meeting, it was held on the 8th of January 2026, and it seems like a pretty standard gathering to vote on important company matters. This report is essentially a record of what happened at that meeting. So what exactly do these filings tell us? Well, on the surface it's all about procedure and making sure everything is above board according to the rules set by the US Securities and Exchange Commission, or CSE. This particular filing is a Form 8, which is used to announce major events that shareholders should know about. Think of it as a company's public announcement system for significant happenings. Rafael Holdings Incorporated is incorporated in Delaware, a common state for companies to set up shop, and it has a commission file number and an IRS employer identification number, which are just administrative details. The form also has checkboxes for certain types of communications, basically allowing companies to use this filing for pre-announcement information if they need to. It is a bit of regulatory housekeeping. Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty. Rafael Holdings Incorporated has Class B common stock trading under the symbol RFL on the New York Stock Exchange. That is the stock that some of you might own or be interested in. The main event here is item 5.07, detailing the submission of matters to a vote of security holders. This means we get to see how the shareholders voted on key company decisions at their annual meeting. First up, the election of the board of directors. It looks like all the nominees were approved by the shareholders. We see names like Susan Y., Bernstein, Alan Grayson, Howard S. Jonas, Marcus W. Seeger, Mark N. Stein, and Michael J. Weiss. They each received a majority of the votes and will serve for a one-year term. The voting breakdown shows a significant number of votes for each nominee, with only small numbers of votes against and abstentions. The broker non-vote is also present, which means some shareholders gave their broker the authority to vote their shares in their absence, and the broker voted according to their own discretion or company policy. This is pretty standard, and it indicates shareholder confidence in the current leadership. Let's look at the numbers for Susan Y. Bernstein. She got 5,301,437 votes in favour, a mere 23,239 against, and just 862 abstentions. That is a strong showing, with about 86.66% of the votes cast in favour. The other directors also saw very similar strong support, generally in the high 80s percentage, wise for votes in favour. This signifies a clear endorsement of the board's direction. Next, the shareholders voted on ratifying the appointment of Conresnick LLP as the company's independent registered public accounting firm for the fiscal year ending the 31st of July 2026. This is basically a vote of confidence in the auditors who will be looking at the company's books. And guess what? They overwhelmingly approved it, with 6,064,445 votes in favour, just 39,412. Against and a small number of abstentions, this appointment was ratified with about 99.13% of the votes in its favour. That is a huge margin, showing that shareholders trust the firm chosen to audit the company's financial health. Finally, and this is often a point of interest for investors, the shareholders voted on an amendment to the company's 2021 Equity Incentive Plan. This amendment increases the number of shares available for awards by 1 million shares of Class B common stock. These are the shares typically used for executive and employee compensation. The shareholder vote here was also in favour, but with a bit more debate. We see 5,037,413 votes for this proposal and 286,773 votes against. This means about 82.34% of the votes were in favour, while still a majority. The higher number of dissenting votes here compared to the other items suggests that some shareholders might have reservations about diluting existing shares through increased stock grants. It is a sign that they are keeping a close eye on how the company uses its equity. Now let's step back and look at the bigger picture. What does this all mean for Rafael Holdings Incorporated? At its core, this filing shows a company that is functioning smoothly from a governance perspective. The board is in place, the auditors are approved, and a key compensation plan has been updated. The overwhelming votes in favour of the directors and the auditors suggest a general alignment and trust from shareholders in the current setup. The slight dip in approval percentages for the Equity Incentive Plan amendment, however, is worth noting. It could signal a growing number of shareholders who are becoming more discerning about share dilution and are pushing for greater accountability on how equity is distributed. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, it is actually a sign of mature shareholder engagement. While this report doesn't delve into the company's day-to-day financials or its market performance, like revenue or profit, it gives us a snapshot of the internal workings and shareholder sentiment. The key takeaway is that Rafael Holdings Incorporated is operating within expected corporate governance frameworks. The votes are in, and for the most part, the shareholders have given a thumbs up to the current leadership and their proposed plans. We will be watching to see if this shareholder engagement on equity plans continues and how it might impact future compensation strategies. Alright, that is our breakdown of Rafael Holdings Incorporated's latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Does the slight shift in sentiment on equity plans concern you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribing ensures you don't miss future deep dives. Don't forget to check out our Discord community linked in the description for more discussions and insights. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Corporate Decoder.